was up front and I was like, listen, I date for marriage. I'm not out here trying to date
Mm.
around. What are you
Period.
about? And he's like, same, I'm here. I'm looking for a wife. Cool. Not everyone says that as a freshman. And so I think
Not at
that was
all. Right. 18, 19. Yeah.
I wasn't playing games. I was like, listen. And a lot of people, that backs people up. They're like, she's crazy. She's only 18. I was like,
Mhm.
I'm not that I want to get married now, but I'm like, I'm not here to waste time. So
Yeah.
that's like my first and foremost thing. And he respected that and was on the same track. And it's like, yeah, I only date for people who I can potentially see be my life partner as well.
Over 50% of Black Americans are unmarried, and only 2% of Black families in America have a net worth over $1 million.
We are on our journey to not only join that 2%, but grow that 2%.
Facts. I'm Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, with my beautiful co-host.
I'm Sinclair, aka the health nerd.
And welcome to the M4 Show. Let's go. Bring them in. What's going on, walkers?
Hey.
There we go. There we go. I know one of y'all just woke up literally like 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh man, I appreciate you for hopping on. So before we hop all the way into it, we met formally, all of y'all, like in Davis, right? Me and Megan knew each other, neighbors in high school. Me and Daniel were met at orientation at Davis. Literally the first day, I was like, boom, roommate. Yeah, we cousins now. Let's do it.
Yeah, we were in the same line. It was W's, and they're like, "Oh, what's your name? Walker. Oh, okay. Want to be roommate? Cool."
Yeah.
That's like, want to be friends?
Yeah, you gotta be friends. Be my friend. That's exactly how it happened. But can y'all tell the romantic story between y'all two, right? How did y'all first meet as friends? But and then where was that maybe slight switch into how y'all became romantic friends?
Man, for me,
It was always romantic for him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see you. Yeah.
yeah, I saw her like talking to you on the field or something. I'm like, who's that girl? So, I just remember hitting you up like, yo, so what's up with her?
Uh-huh.
And I tried to talk to her in chemistry class. I don't know why I was taking chemistry, first of all. That's kind of how
You know why.
we were in the same, but it's Davis. There's 300 chemistry classes, pre-chem classes. I don't know why in chemistry once again, but she just happened to be in the same class, and then she was sitting with me and like trying to ask her a question, and she ignored me.
Oh gosh. There's two sides to every story, first of all.
Always.
But he always says I ignored him in chemistry class, and I just didn't realize he was talking to me because I didn't know who he was, and he just was, I don't remember what the question was, how to do something. And I was just like, I remember going like, who's he talking to? He's talking to me. And then I was like, oh, are you talking to me? And he's like, yeah. And then I think some other girls came over and like helped him with the question. I was just like, oh, okay, like, nothing of it. But I think that was like our first interactions. And, I just remember always seeing him in chemistry class, but I was focused on chemistry, so that was
And
important
he was focused
for me.
on building that chemistry.
What I'm
y'all
was both focused on chemistry.
Yeah, but I think a friendship just grew, and as you said, Devon, we were friends. So anytime I visited you, he was always there, and I was like, okay, I gotta see this guy. I'm just trying to see my friend. And I remember him always asking me questions, and it was funny. And to be honest, like I had a friendship in my mind, 100%. I was like, he's a nice guy. I remember telling Devon, don't try to make anything, because Devon would give me those eyes. Like, he's like, oh, okay. I'm like, don't set anything up. No, we're just friends. And
Devon is a good friend.
Devon is a great friend. Yeah, he loved that.
Thank you.
But I don't know. I think it was, I guess, your persistence, to be honest, and just coming around.
We
And
just talked a lot.
we just talked all night.
Just
We
hung
would just
out.
Yeah.
we'd be on the floor in my on campus apartment because I didn't have a dorm. It was a good thing for me that I was upgraded to an on campus apartment, but
Definitely
we would
did.
just be on the floor. Yeah, I looked out with that one. But yeah, and then like I think our first day I can remember is he cooked me, like surprised me and cooked for
Mhm.
me. And I was like coming home from lab early and my roommates were trying to like lock me out. And I was like, what's going on? And I opened the door and he has all these pans out and he's trying to like cook me this meal. And I just was like, oh, like that's so kind. And I was up front and I was like, listen, I date for marriage. I'm not out here trying to date
Mm.
around. What are you
Period.
about? And he's like, same, I'm here. I'm looking for a wife. Cool. Not everyone says that as a freshman. And so I think
Not at
that was
all. Right. 18, 19. Yeah.
I wasn't playing games. I was like, listen. And a lot of people that backs people up. They're like, she's crazy. She's only 18. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm not that I want to get married now, but I'm like, I'm not here to waste time. So
Yeah.
that's like my first and foremost thing. And he respected that and was on the same track. And it's like, yeah, I only date for people who I can potentially see be my life partner as well. And I think it just kind of carried on from there.
Dang, I love that. Yeah, I remember the surprise cooking. Well done. That works every
Oh,
time.
you remember?
Right? That works every
You
time.
land on that?
I don't think I was in on that, but I remember the story.
I just remember
Oh.
my 18th birthday when we all went to San Francisco. And I don't remember if y'all were a thing or not then, but I just remember being like, yup, that's about to happen.
That was
so
fun.
fun.
Yeah, that was so fun.
That was
It
legendary.
It was.
But when you're saying that y'all both are like had the mindset of I date for marriage, and then obviously spoiler alert, y'all did get married, right? Love to see it. What was maybe it was the conversation, maybe it was the cooking, but what was that thing that was like, oh yeah, I'm not only dating for marriage now, I know I can marry you, right? What was that thing that you saw that you experienced?
I guess for me, just having like a really well-rounded individual, looking at good family, looking at how kind of my family was brought up growing up, the love I
Mhm.
saw in the household, and then from talking to her, seeing what her family was like, she had kind of that same structure, that same family, that
Mm.
stability, in the household that I was looking for in growing up. And like, I just remember my grandma always telling me, like, that might not seem important, when you're
Mm.
dating, but that exactly is how it's gonna be. Like that's how people learn how to love. You learn
Mm.
how to treat people, how to treat your wife, how to treat your husband by kind of how you see your parents treated each other. Like that's your first kind of like learnings of love and seeing that in the household every day. Dad kissing mom, bringing flowers, cooking.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I saw. So that's kind of what I wanted too. That strong household. So just talking to her, really getting to know her, seeing her how her family was structured. Her beliefs. Being Christian, etc. Do we believe in the
Mhm.
same thing? Do we have the same kind of goals that we want to achieve in life, and just comes from communication and just talking to each other and just making sure all that was there for
Yeah.
me. It was like, oh yeah, this is what we want right here. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, y'all definitely both have very, very beautiful, very faithful, very spiritual families. Like, so
Mhm.
yeah, that's like very strong. So I can see that.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I think that was important off the jump for us was just where like our backgrounds and how important family is to each of us and how we were raised in a Christian household for both of us. So we wanted to I think our families had expectations, but we also had those same expectations for ourselves to like carry that on, to have a two-parent household and to maintain that like family life. So I know that was I think pretty big for both of us that we noted off the bat.
yeah. I
Mhm.
think we always like, hey, we only get married once. So
Yes,
let's
we were like, we're only doing
Just
this
once.
yeah,
time.
yeah. We've done this one time. So
Yeah, and
whatever happened, we're gonna work it
yeah,
out. And, so
we did
just
say
making
that.
sure we're on the same page and just taking those steps. Yeah, we
Yeah.
had our hiccups, we had our issues,
Mhm.
but going through talking to other people, seeking guidance, and
Hmm.
going to marriage counseling before all that. Just
Mhm.
really figuring ourselves out.
Hmm.
You know,
Because we're not the same as we were in Davis.
yeah,
As 18-year-olds, no.
Right.
Yeah,
And
lots
that's
happen.
important to note. Like, can you be with this person? Like, you have their core, and I think you're understanding their core, but like, you're just growing, and like, love changes over time. And so
Yeah,
you want to have that literal life partner, because life
Mhm.
is crazy. And like,
yeah,
who can you go through the good, the bad, the ugly, and see them developing and changing, and still fall in love with that core person,
yeah.
and have that foundation. And for us, having God be our solid foundation, no matter what we go through, I think us always falling back on that has been really what's carried us through. So
You know,
Yep.
love the life partner. Queen, you look like you had something that you wanted to kind of double dutch in with.
I was just gonna say, I think it's interesting too, because I think one thing that we both of our relationships have in common is that we did
Our walkers.
that too. But we did like start out young, like we
Mm,
were
yeah,
teenagers, right? When we all
yeah,
met and kind of initially, started the relationships out. So I think one of the cool things, everything has like pros and cons, right? But I think one of the cool things is being able to see each other grow. Because I
right.
think to your
yeah,
point on like you're a completely different person now. I'm a completely different person now. I was 17 when I met this man. Like I was a girl. Like I'm a completely different person now. My own thoughts, my own opinions. Like I've
yeah.
evolved, and every single person, right? You've done the same thing. And
Only thing that's changed is my beard, to be
Yeah.
honest.
stop. But I think it's a blessing to be able to see the growth,
Yeah,
and to be able to see like wow, like sometimes we do like have those types of conversations, just look out like wow, look at how far we've come, and not
yeah.
even like material but just like people. Is that a raising the
I'm
hand?
raising my hand
Okay, we'll
because
do.
I'm a teacher. So I don't like we reflect on this often, but we don't always reflect it with you all.
Yeah.
But there
Mhm.
was a time where literally all four of us were sharing a room.
Yeah.
Right, like
Basically.
we were in 352, right? Me and Daniel were sharing that room.
uh,
Sometimes we would have our amazing melanated queens visit us, and there was a time where
yeah.
we were literally all sharing that room together. And that was a
Oh my
time where I
god.
was flat broke. Me and the queen had no what's it called, no furniture really. We had a
Literally a mattress on the floor.
mattress
The
on the
mattress on the
floor.
floor.
Yeah,
Yes.
some speakers from the
And
thrift
it's
store.
not even the like, let me really paint the picture for
Go
y'all.
ahead, paint the
It
picture.
was it a box spring? I don't
It-
know if it was a box spring. I think you just had two mattresses. One that was like a full size and then one that was a twin.
mm,
That was the thing that was unique about it.
really?
Yes, I will
I
never
don't
forget
even.
it. It was like a twin on top of a full.
He
So it was like,
remembers.
yes, I will never
Yeah,
forget
I
that.
was
Like
there.
that's how we was living on the floor, on the
Uh,
carpet.
Look,
we
look.
weren't that far off, because he had a futon
Yeah, I got a
that
futon
Yes.
from when he
opened
passed down to
into,
me.
but
Yeah.
it was broken in the middle. Like, there was like
Yeah.
panels missing, so you kind of like sunk into it. And
Yep.
I was always just like, I gotta love this man, because I'm sleeping
Yep,
on this futon.
yep.
Oh my
But
gosh, I've had the
thinking
same
about y'all,
thoughts.
and I was like, well, we're
Look,
all
I'll be looking back, especially whenever he calls me bougie. I'm just like, do you understand like the love I
right.
have for you because of things we've been through? Like,
Look,
I look back at the living
Oh,
situations we've been in. Like, that's love.
With
Don't call
our
me
props,
bougie.
yes.
look.
And after that,
I have a line in a song where I say EBT sponsored food all up in my cabinets. Love will make a boozy chick live just like a savage.
Mm,
Right.
facts.
So I
ooh,
think that coming from where all of us came from, like we were broke college students, right? But
yep,
I think we all knew where we wanted to go. I think we all
yeah,
saw the marriage, the family, the lifestyle that we all wanted to live, and we knew we would get there eventually. And like Megan just said, like this is my person that I can go through the mud with. This is the person that I can go to
mhm,
the top of the mountain with. I can travel to Dominican Republic with. I can travel to Greece with. I can travel to Spain with some day, right? So I want to
mhm.
kind of zoom because we went through memory lane on the brokenness,
Uh-huh.
right? But now all four of us are real estate owners,
Yeah.
Wow, yeah,
right? All four of us are now LLC owners and business owners,
Yep.
right? So
yeah.
I wanna kind of learn from you all a little bit, and you let me know which one you want to dive into first. We can go trucking or we can go the real estate. But how did y'all get started in either
Mhm.
industry? How did you come up with the mindset of, hey queen, hey king, this is what we're about to invest in together?
I think, well, starting with real estate, I think that was like our first, if we're going chronologically, where we first dived into.
Mhm.
Um, and for me, I was always focused on owning a house. I think he was too, like having something that you were going to own. I had all my friends moving out, getting these cute apartments. I was at home. I was, dang, that's like, this is so cute. I want to have my space. I'm like stepping on my parents' toes. But I knew that I didn't want to pay towards something that I was never going to have ownership in. And that like irked my soul because I mean, people call me frugal and I'm okay with that. But I like calculate like, okay, if I put even just 1,000, even if rent is only 1,000, which we know today, very hard to find. I'm
Right.
just like, I'm putting $12,000 a year towards something that I'm never gonna have. Like that, I just couldn't sit with that. And I know when after we got married, Danny was also very much looking into ownership, wanting to own something. And so he brought up the idea of the duplex. I was more looking for like house, townhouse, whatever I can get my hands on that I could afford. And then after we got married, then you were kind of like, I don't know how you came up with the idea or what you looked into because he's always researching something.
Yep.
But he was like, I think we should get a duplex or, something. And I was like, a duplex? Like, oh, and then he's like, yeah, we should get it. And then, maybe we can like rent out some of it or have the extra space, whatever. And so then, I kind of was like, of course, for me, I'm like, that means I could save money. Like, okay, like I like
Right.
Yep.
Talking your language.
like I can have my space and have someone else pay for my mortgage. Facts, let me do that. So then I think that's when we dived into the idea of like, how can we get something, own something, and then have somebody else help us pay for it.
Thank you for supporting the M4 show and our mission to increase the wealth of Black families.
If you received any value from this episode, any value at all, any, do us a favor and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple, Spotify, anything, all of them, all of them, wherever you're listening, go ahead and like and subscribe.
And after you like and subscribe, make sure you send this episode to at least one family that you really want to see win. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.